Hello everyone, welcome to the class. So we are attending 10 questions from the last 5 years PYQ. Those are most important questions, and we have got some of the sessions having 10 PYQs, and in today's session we are taking 10 more questions, and I think this is going to be the last session of this capsule type of session where we will discuss 10 questions, and this will help you in your coming exam. So quickly moving to the first question of today's session, and the question is, which of the following is not a component of communication? So this is coming from the communication part, and quickly uh, going through the options. First option is saying sender or resource and message and signal, not a component. Okay, we need to go for the not a component of the communication. So it is already a component of communication. In the chain of communication, you already have sender, source, message, signals, etc. So we need to find not a component. So this is not going to be our answer. Option B is saying medium or channel of communication, which is also a component of communication, but the question is asking not a component. So this is also not our answer. Option number C is saying the receiver or destination. You already know if the communication is started, then there should have to be a receiver where the communication will end. It means it will be the destination. So, which is actually a component of communication. That's why this will not be an answer for this question. So, option number D is saying speaking, listening, writing, reading. Okay. So this is the correct answer because these are not component. Okay. So option number D is the correct answer for this question. How? Quickly check this one. That this speaking or listening, then writing, reading, these are communication skills, not component. Okay, that's why as the question asked, not component, so option number D is correct. Now also you need to know what are the components of communication. We have discussed it in our discussion session. So the components of communication are sender, message, channel, receiver, and feedback. It means if there is a communication and it has completed without this feedback, it will never be a complete communication. There should have to be the feedback to complete the communication. Okay, it will move like this, and with that feedback, you will go like here. So this was easy. Now moving to the second question. All of these questions are PYQ, by the way. So this question is asking which of the following domain names typically represents an educational institution in India? Okay, this is very easy. If you can see .gov.in or .gov, that is a government website. If it is .com, then that is a commercial entity. If it is .org, then it is definitely a non-profit organization. If it is .ac.in, for example, Guwahati University.ac.in or some other universities used to use this particular domain name, so it is basically representing the educational institute in India. Okay, here I have already added ac.in stands for Academic India. You need to know this one, Academic India, and is reserved for academic and educational institutions in India. Now moving to the next question. This is very easy question, and we have discussed it so many times. So you need to find the binary equivalent of 27, which is very easy. Whenever you need to find a binary equivalent of something, you just divide it by 2 until it's like uh, it's until you unable to divide it by 2. So first you need to try to divide it by 2 and you write the reminders in this way. Okay, because 13 into 2 you will get 26, but as this is 27 you will get a reminder of 1 here. Now again you need to divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2, 12, so you will get a reminder here. Again divide it by 2, 3, you will get a reminder of 0. Next, again divide it by 2, Again, you will get a reminder 1. Now, you need to do from here, from the bottom to the top, you need to read this one. From the bottom to the top, you need to read like 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. This is the correct answer for this option number D. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. From the bottom, you need to read. Okay. So, this way, whenever you find that, you need to find some binary equivalent of any number, you just divide it by 2 and do it repeatedly until you reach the most least level. Okay, till getting the least level, you need to divide it by 2 and write the reminders in the right side and then read it from the bottom. You will get the correct answer from the reminder only. Okay, now, yeah, I have added the explanation here. So I need to suppose to write it in here, but I have written it in this page. But yeah, it is clear too. So uh, this is very easy, which we have already discussed, and you need to read the reminders from the bottom. Okay, so that you will get the correct answer for it. And every time you need to find the binary one, you need to divide it by 2. Okay. Now, question number 4 of today's session, it is asking intra, not inter. So the question is asking intra, not inter. Okay, those two are different words. Intrapersonal and interpersonal, those are different. It means if person 1, person 2, in between them communication is happening, then that is interpersonal. And if intrapersonal, it means inside of you. Okay, you are talking, you are communicating with yourself, that is intrapersonal communication. You just read this term properly in the exam. Okay, so that you cannot misinterpret. So interpersonal communication may be defined as, option number A is saying communication with oneself through self-talk. Yeah, you have got the answer. You don't need to go for the others, but if you want, you can go. But if you need to save time, then whenever you see self-talk, imagination, sometimes we used to imagine things, daydreams, or something like that. These are some communication patterns we used to do with ourselves. So, and visualizations and plans, etc. Those comes under intrapersonal communication. It means communication with oneself. That here only you and you will be involved, no second person will be involved. Okay, so that's it, option number A. Now moving to the next question, it is asking pick up from the following um, item which is not an output device. Okay, it means you need to find the input device. So monitor is an output device, speaker is an output device, keyboard is an input device, then printer is an output device. So as it is asking not an output device, it means you need to find the input one. So keyboard is the correct answer for this question. So these are very basic question, you all know it, but in the exam hall this type of sentence sometimes may confuse you, and sometimes in the rush of time you may uh, wrongly mark it. So be careful about that. Okay. Question number 6 for today's session, it is asking the total age of 3 children. Okay, this is from average and this is very easy question. So the question is asking the total age of 3 children in a family is 27. This is the total age years in the year 2020. What will be their total age in 2023? So from here you can see plus 3 in year. Okay, so what we need to do, that year got plus 3, but this has 3 children's. Okay, so you need to do it like into 3. Okay, you will get 9. So 27 plus 9 and you will get 36. So option number C is the answer. As 3 children in a family is 27 years in 2020, after 3 years you cannot just plus 3 because 3 children's are there, right? That's why you need to make 3 into 3 and you got 9 plus 9 you need to mark here. Okay, so 27 plus 9 you have got 36. That's the new age of that three particular children's total age in the particular year of 2023. So that's the correct answer. Here I have also added the explanation that current total given Then time, that is 3 years got plus. Then growth, there are three children, so each children grow 3 years. Okay, that's why you need to make three children into 3 years. That's why 9 years. That's why the answer will be 36. Super easy. I used to give slides super easily, so that whenever you go through the slide, you will get the answer very clearly. Okay, moving to the next question. So in exam, this type of questions are very common. So this question is asking, two objects names given below are related to each other in some way. Which way it is related, you need to find. How you will find? We will go with the options. As it is asking trees and forests. So you already know this is the circle of forest, and inside of this forest there may be trees. Okay. Now we need to find a similar type of uh, relation in these options. Okay, so first option is saying ocean and ship. So see, trees, you need to read this: trees inside forest, ocean inside ship. No, we cannot conclude this. Then we will look towards it later. Students and teachers. So trees inside forest, students, no, it will not fit student and teacher, because forest is a huge entity, and then teachers will I mean, sorry, not teachers, forest is a huge entity, and then trees will be a part of it, and most essential part of it. Okay, so we need to find the same relation. So here option number D is saying school and children. No, if it is reverse, like children and school, then it will be a correct option. But for now, as it is school and children, it is not a correct option. Every time you need to check whether it is reversed or not, because we need to get the same type of um relationship pattern. So option number B is the most promising one, because option number B is saying books and library. So we need to read books in the books inside the library. It means library is the huge entity, and inside the library essential part is the books. Same, trees inside forest, books inside library. So you have got the correct answer. Option number B is the correct answer. These are very basic. Now quickly we can go to the next question. So question number 8 of today's session, it is asking the lowermost layer of the atmosphere, which is closest to the Earth's surface, is known as. Very basic question, and everyone should have to know that if it is the first layer, second, third, fourth, and first layer is the troposphere, then the boundary called topopause, stratosphere. Why stratosphere is important? Because ozone layer is present in here, then mesosphere, exosphere, then ionosphere is the last fifth number of layer, that is the topmost layer. So first layer, very close to the surface of the earth, it is troposphere. This is the troposphere, and in this troposphere layer the weather phenomena are occurring. It means any weather phenomena you can see that occurs in the troposphere layer, and it is the closest nearest layer of the surface of the earth. Okay, so quickly understand this one. Troposphere, you all know about it, but still we can quickly recap it. Okay, so troposphere is the lowest atmospheric layer where weather phenomenon occurs. Cloud used to form in this layer. Then air mass, most air mass exists in this layer, and the height of this particular troposphere layer is from 8 to 18. Sometimes you can find it 6 to 16, and sometimes you can find it 6 to 20 kilometers above the earth surface. So it is kind of almost. Okay, so basically you can mark that 8 to 18, but sometimes you may find it 16, sometimes you may find it 20, but 20 is the upper limit. So 16 and 18 is the most acceptable. Okay, but yes, you need to remember this kilometer, it's not in meter. Okay, now this question, this is another important question, I guess, and you need to know about this. Okay, so this is asking the treatise Brihat Samhita was written by very famous. You all know about him. He is Barah Mihira or Barah Mihir. Okay, so he is famous for his work treatise, that is Brihad Samhita. Okay, so quickly understand this one from the explanation part. So Barah Mihira is a famous encyclopedic Sanskrit writer, and who has written this Brihat Samhita. Okay, it's a huge work. Okay, so this work covers a lot of subfields, those basically astronomy, astrology, architecture, weather, geography. So you can see philosophers of the previous age, they were like prominent in all fields. They know astronomy, they know astrology, they know architecture, they know weather, they know geography also. It means they are all rounder, they know everything. Okay, so you need to remember his name, Barah Mihira, and you need to remember his work treatise or Brihat Samhita. Okay, so which is famous encyclopedic Sanskrit work. Okay, you need to remember this. Now, the last question of today's session, it is very basic, very easy question, but it's a PYQ and you need to know about it. It means if it comes in the exam, you need to be so sure about it that you never get confused of this type of particular easy questions. So the question is asking, Right to Education Act 2009 covers children of which age group? So you just close your eyes and mark this option number D. It is saying 6 to 14 years of age. Right to education 2009. Okay. From the explanation, you need to know 6 to 14 years. Option number D is the correct one. The Right to Education, that is RTE Act 2009. The year is also important. Okay. Guarantees free and compulsory education for children aged 6 to 14 years in India. So that's it. These are the quick revision masterclass for you with some selected questions from the last 5 years PYQ, so that you can get a good practice, good revision for the upcoming exam. So here our discussion is ending, and if you have any doubt regarding anything, you can definitely reach to us, and I want to wish you all the best for the coming exam. Do your best. Try to get 40 plus correct questions in paper 1 so that you can get a good base for paper 2. And with a calm mind, try to manage time for the first question, from the first question in the exam hall. Okay, do the rush in the easy questions which you find it confident, like some of the segments maybe you are more confident. So take those segments first, and then you like those segments which are kind of difficult for you, take some extra minute for them and then attempt the question. And I'm wishing you all the very best with a very bright future. And that was it from our side. Thank you for joining our class, and it's really good to be in this discussion class with you. So I'm ending the class here. Thank you.